ask, you can ask, you can ask. Got a couple problems, need help solve. Baby mama or daddy, unnecessary drama now. You can ask, you can ask, you can ask. Just ask Ashlee.
What's going on, you guys? It's your girl Ask Ashlee here with another special. This is like a special weekend edition of Midday Juice. I wasn't with y'all on Thursday. I apologize for that. But I wanted to go ahead and give today's special guest a minute to gather her bearings and prepare to have a conversation that I'm sure a lot of people have been asking and inquiring about from her. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen on TikTok, on Yahoo, on the Shade Room, there was a woman, Tennessee woman who was married, who is married still, whose husband left her while she was on a business trip. She shared the video and she basically went live and came home to an empty home. And relationships are hard, right? And I tell you what, it's very trying when you are trying to stay a couple, right? Trying to go through what it is that you guys are going to go through, communication, ugly days, bad days, good days, sad days, loving days, happy days, and to abruptly come home. Hey, baby, happy Saturday. To abruptly come home to nothing. In addition to my partner being gone, I would not even know what to do. I don't even think that I would have immediately thought to grab my phone outside of calling and probably cussing him out. So today's guest is, at first I want to say thank you to her for being so brave to come on the show and talk about what it is that she is going through right now. I want to make sure that I put out there that I need you guys to be respectful. Okay, because y'all know in the Ask Ashlee world, we don't like to disrespect folks, okay? Because it's always three sides to a story. It's his side, her side, and the truth. So let's make sure that we are being respectful. You guys can share the video, like the video. You guys will have the opportunity to ask a couple questions. But I just want to make sure that we put it out there that we are being respectful. So before I have Miss Porsche Rosman come on the show, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this clip really quick of what she came home to.
This is my apartment after I came back home from Vegas. I had a convention in Vegas. I was gone the 2nd through the 7th. Came home to my apartment completely wiped out. My husband left. He left me my jewelry here in this room here. Yeah, and took everything else, including some items that belong to solely me. He also took the washer and dryer out of here. I also took the bed, took everything out of here, cut off the internet service so I can no longer work from home. And then cleared out the closet here, which I'll come to light. Cleared out the closet here and left the wedding dress in here. I'll leave that right there for him.
Okay, I'm going to have Miss Porsche Rosman join us right now. Miss Porsche, you there?
I'm here.
Hi, beautiful. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So again, I want to make sure that I say thank you for taking the time to sit and talk with us today regarding such a personal and close to home situation for you. Like I said, this is your life. And I am sure that since you made the post, you have been bombarded with a lot of calls and texts and inquiries and things like that of that nature. So I do appreciate you agreeing to come on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. So let's jump right into it. So you went on a business trip. Now you are an entrepreneur, correct?
I am an entrepreneur. So I am an entrepreneur and I was working a 9 to 5 as well. You know how so many of us do when we're making the transition. But yeah, I went to Vegas for a business trip convention.
Okay, great. Now, can I ask Porsche what? I don't need to know your 9 to 5 because let's hope you ain't there too long, right? What is it that you do on your entrepreneurial side?
So I have 2 businesses. The convention that I attended was paparazzi accessories. So all things jewelry. I was excited. I'm excited to go every single year.
Okay, awesome. How long you been doing it?
I've been doing paparazzi for 3 years now.
Okay. Okay. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that. So you went on a business trip.
Hmm.
Before you went on this trip, was everything okay at home?
No, everything
No.
wasn't. Yeah, nah.
Okay. Now I will say, oh, well, I'll let you elaborate on that.
So my husband and I have been working through, I'll say, a very trying time. Um, so entrepreneurship has been on my heart, and unfortunately, it just did not sit well with him.
Hmm.
So he kind of gave me an ultimatum, and this has been like months ago, like months prior. He kind of gave me an ultimatum. He's like, either you can be, pursue your dreams, and the only way that I can support you is for us to live separately. And of course, like, this was upsetting and heartbreaking,
Yeah.
because my husband has been an entrepreneur before, and I was right there to support him. But like in all of that, I was like, okay, let's get in counseling. Let's see how we can, shift his mindset, make this
Hmm.
work. I actually invited him to Vegas. He chose not to. I wanted him to see that side because maybe he'll get a different experience
Yeah.
of it. But as you can see, he changed his mind about the last thing he told me before I left for Vegas was, I don't want to lose you. I love you, and I want this to work. We're gonna be okay. So like, I left for Vegas with that hope, like
Right.
that everything was gonna be fine. So when I came back, I don't he changed his mind, and it's like, I'm not upset that he left because everybody deserves peace. So if he wasn't getting that peace with me, if he didn't want to be with me anymore, that's perfectly fine. It was the way things was done.
Absolutely.
um, he had already blocked me on social media. He had already blocked my phone number, so even if I wanted to call him and act a fool, I couldn't have. So really posting the
Hmm.
video was kind of like my release, because it was like, wow, you could have at least sent me a text message and let me know what I was walking into.
Yeah. The article that I read stated, and I want to make sure that I point out it's a Yahoo article, but the article that I read stated that you all were kind of texting while you were on the trip.
We were. It was just weird because before I left for the trip, my husband, me and him, we chilling. The plan was, when I came back, we was gonna get some crab legs, our favorite thing to share together. Monday, everything was all good. Tuesday, things were good. Then around Tuesday evening, like, the text messages kind of stopped. So like, all of my messages are kind of going unread. And at this point, I'm like, well, maybe I did something and don't know that I did it. Maybe he's upset about something. I guess we'll talk about it when we get there. But
Hmm.
still never thinking that like anything additional was like going on.
Right, right. I'm going to read his I'm going to read his Facebook post that he posted after the video went viral for a second and give you an opportunity to speak on that, okay?
Okay.
Okay, it says, all that knows me knows my heart and the person that I am. There isn't a person that can come under this post and say they have had less than a pleasant experience with me. Here's the honest truth. There was a mutual understanding of separation. Me taking items was a favor to my wife because her storage was full and she was moving into a fully furnished apartment minus mattresses that I helped her move into with her now roommate. I am not cold. I am still paying the phone bill that supports all this madness because she needs that communication and I'm a caring person. I could have canceled that line to avoid all of this, but I know that when my wife is screaming out for help, but at the same time wants to save the world. Her move out date was scheduled for this weekend, and I decided to leave a week ahead on my terms because that was self-preservation. Mismanaged emotions on her end is not in my favor. Living in an apartment with neighbors and things began to escalate. I'm not upset at her at all because her reality is her reality, and I've learned that. But that doesn't mean that I have to continue to carry the burdens of father issues and trauma. That is very hard to do. I still want her to win because life has been very hard for her. She needs a break. Continue to support her, but don't tear me down for protecting myself. By the way, I'm still rooting for her. Go win without me because we were each other's stuck point in this season, put into this season. How do you feel about that?
So that message, I saw it on the Shade Room,
Hmm.
and that message was very disappointing because it was like he had like one more chance to protect me, and he chose to. Um, it's important for him to look like the good guy, so he chose that instead of telling the truth. And obviously, that wasn't honest the truth.
Hmm.
Um, there's so much.
So you didn't have a move out date, like you guys hadn't. I mean, the separation conversation happened because of the ultimatum, but
Right.
when you left, you had every intention on
Yeah, like I
working
was
stuff.
never moving forward without my husband, like never. Even when we went to counseling and we talked about, so what would it look like if we lived separately, not separate? They'll look like us dating and getting reacquainted with one another and falling in love with each other all over again. So these are all the expectations that were like set for me, like
Mm-hmm.
with him, and he didn't make good on that. So to say that I knew that he was moving out, absolutely not. I had no idea he was moving out. Him keeping stuff for me, absolutely. Like I don't know where my husband is. I don't know where the stuff is. Like I didn't
What
know.
about the stuff in storage? You don't have stuff in storage?
I do have some stuff. I
Okay.
do have some stuff in storage. The storage was I purchased this storage maybe a year or so ago. My husband
Mhm.
told me I took up too much room in the apartment. The storage has been there for a while.
Wow. Wow.
So it
And
was.
so
Go
you
ahead.
did say that the one thing about the article that was written that you wanted to make sure was clear is that you guys haven't been married for 18 years.
No, we've been together 18 years. We've been together since we were 15. We've been married 5, and we're
Okay.
still currently married.
Okay. Are you open to conversation and reconciliation at this point, or are you just like, I'm just done?
I'm done. I'm, I'm just done, and not being like cold or anything about it. After my husband posted that on his Facebook page, he unblocked me long enough to message me to say that he was sorry for hurting me and he was sorry for everything.
And then blocked you back.
No, I blocked him at that point. I was like, I didn't
Wow.
even respond. I was just like, I'm done with this. I don't think reconciliation is possible,
Mm-hmm.
at least not right now.
Mm-hmm. Do you regret um, doing the video at all?
I don't regret it in terms of I tend to be a very vulnerable person. I've been told this is my superpower.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Come on,
and
superpower.
I've gotten a lot of women like messages who've been through like similar things. So I don't regret it from this standpoint. But the fact that people are like
Mm-hmm.
so disrespectful. And I wasn't raised that way. Even if somebody's sharing something publicly, you can give your opinion on it without being disrespectful to somebody's character. And a lot of people haven't learned that.
Yeah. Yeah. I did get a chance to look at some of your content because you do life coaching too?
Yes. So I
You,
just recently became a self love coach. And that's what I
well,
spent the last year doing.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I tell you what, God will set you up in the right places because this could have done something different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
To your mindset,
Yeah.
to your spirit, to your heart, to your mindset. And I'm sure it's hurtful. You
Yeah.
know, you're not without pain, but you look beautiful. You look like you're carrying it very well, which, as
Thank
Black
you.
women,
That's what we do.
that's what we do. That's what we do. Cry at night and flick out our lashes in the morning. Let's
Yep.
go. Start the day. So, if there was anything that you would want to say to women who have been through something like this before, who have, had men say, I love you, I don't want to lose you, let's work this out, and then do a 360 or a total 180, within 48 to 72 hours, what message would that be to them?
Um, that you don't lose value. You don't lose your value because somebody else changed their mind about continuing a life with you. I think a lot of times it's when we kind of get lost in that. Like we feel like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like where do I go now? Where you go is you pray and you lift yourself up and you continue on. Like your value doesn't diminish because somebody decided they didn't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And that's good from a self-love coach. I needed that. Thank you. Um, so one of the other things that I wanted to touch on, how, because there's so much information that's put out there and we never know, you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
masses, we never know. Is this true? Is that true? Is this a lie but sprinkled with a little bit of truth? So, are your parents deceased? Like his family was your family, basically.
Yeah, so I grew up. I was raised by a single mom.
Okay.
My mom has been deceased since 2015.
Okay. Okay.
So from that point, it was just really all I had was his family. Like all of my connections, like family ties, was through him, and then his mom became like my mother figure. But I'm learning that that's not always real either.
Yes, ma'am. I ain't even gonna say they. I will say we do stick loyal to our sons. But right is right and
Yeah,
wrong is wrong.
yeah,
Now I ain't gonna say that. Now right is right and wrong is wrong. Um, how has that how has that loss of connection been for you? Because you're not just losing a husband, you're losing a family, you're losing a brother, you're losing cousins and sisters and a mother figure. How has that been for you?
it hurts. I'm sorry,
No, you okay, baby. You are okay.
but for the first time, I realized how alone I truly am. So this is the longest I've also gone without talking to my soon-to-be ex-husband. We've been together since we were 15. We met when we were 9.
Mm,
So I don't. This is all new. It's gonna take a bit of an adjustment, but I just thank God for giving me the mindset that He gave me. Because I've shared, like in my post, like I was at one point very suicidal. So had I been the person that I was then, this story would probably be a lot different.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I will say this, because I've never been married before, so I could not imagine what the loss of a marriage is like. You know what I mean? Because the loss of a boyfriend versus the loss of a marriage has got to feel different. You
Yeah,
know, um, so I couldn't even begin to imagine the pain that you must be feeling. But um, I have been through heartbreak before. I have had that slap in the face where it's just like, this is not what I thought it was. I have had that, just sense of feeling a little lost. And I really do love that you're a self love coach because women, we do that. The minute that a man walks away, we feel like our value has been lost.
yeah.
It hasn't been.
That's what the world teaches us. Unfortunately, for
Yes.
the time we're little girls.
Yes, 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 yes. So I'm glad to hear that you know that your value has not been lost. I will say, do you all have children?
No children.
I will say that even though today you feel like that, I think it is a blessing that maybe children was not in play because when you make that break, that you can make that break and break it the way you need to.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that your husband doesn't deserve a conversation or that he's, a trashy guy. I don't know. You know what I mean? You know him better than I do.
Hmm.
So I'm not gonna say those words about him. But I am going to say, just being the type of person that I am on the outside looking in, that it seems like it's a blessing that there are no children involved because you have the opportunity to really start anew. And you mentioned this is the first time for you to really see how alone you are. I know for me, sometimes God had to put me by myself for me to figure it out. He had to put me by myself for me to, you know, really see how powerful I am.
Yeah.
And I hope that He's able to do the same for you. I really, really hope He's able to do the same for you. There's a couple comments that I'm going to touch on. Lakia says, praying for you and your healing. Take it just one day at a time. Brenda also says that she is sending prayers for you. Um, Let me see here. Okay, here we go. Um, we do have a question from Anthony. Anthony says he would like to know. Sorry, he would like to know if you saw any warning signs of the relationship trouble earlier, or did you just feel? Do you feel like you just chose to ignore them?
Um. Yeah. I mean, my husband and I have always had issues. We've always had growing pains. Um. And yeah, there was a lot of stuff I probably ignored because I didn't want to be wrong. You know how you get those warnings well, I don't know if you should continue with this relationship. I don't know if you should get married. And I didn't want to be wrong. So I was always going to try to make things work with my husband because
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to prove everybody wrong. Like, we going to make it.
Right. Right.
So, I definitely take responsibility there. There were some things that I ignored.
Casey asked, did he leave you with a lot of financial burdens?
We've always kept our bills, like what we paid, like separately.
Mm-hmm.
So he has his bills. I have mine. I just wasn't prepared for. Unfortunately, I wasn't prepared for this. So I'll tell any woman, be prepared
And isn't
financially.
that hard? Because it's like,
It is.
it's like,
It's like I'm paying
why
all
do I
these
want to?
bills.
Why do
Like,
I want to operate as if it ain't gonna work? I should be
yeah,
operating like this is gonna be, exactly what I
yeah.
said it is. If your husband was watching right now,
He is.
what would you? Oh,
Yeah, I see
okay. Oh, you see him? Oh, I didn't see him. Okay, all right. So I'm still gonna ask the question.
him.
Um, what is it that you would like to say to him?
um, that I'm not mad at you. Um, that I pray more for you now than I ever did before.
Mm-hmm.
That I wish you nothing but healing, and I don't wish him anything bad at all. You don't spend that much of your life with somebody and wish them bad.
Right.
I don't regret. I don't regret marrying him. I learned a lot about myself. I'm pretty sure he learned a lot about himself too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I could say that I'll still always love him. I wish him the best.
Okay. Okay. And that's a it's like a messy break, but it's a smooth one.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
messy one, but it's a smooth one. It's a smooth one. And again, I pray that you both are able to get whatever it is that you need to get away from each other. Entrepreneurship is hard, and it's really hard when you are um, operating with a partner who does not support it. Wants to see you win, wants to see you be great, but doesn't fully support it. So it's like, this may be a winning, it may be a blessing,
Yeah.
you know. Um, it's so unfortunate that it had to happen that way, but I'm also glad to know that you don't regret um, doing the video, because we all have to release and heal in our own way, in our own
Yeah.
light. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, what what message would you give to his mother?
First thing is sometimes it's okay to tell your children when they're wrong. I hope that I could, that I'm able to do that. I want boys actually, so I hope that I'm able to let them know when they're wrong. Um, but I would say there too, like, there's like no love lost. It's disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it probably brought up a whole lot of emotions for me, but I would just leave it with I appreciate the time that we had together, and I appreciate um, everything she did for me, and I don't love her any less.
Another question we have, well, another comment first is from Tony. You are a very classy lady, and I pray nothing but the best for you in the future, in life and in love.
Thank you.
Janice says, he will bless you. I know it's even more difficult because you've actually known him most of your life. Um, Anthony says, I too don't see for myself being with someone for so long and just walking away. People need to realize going in that their partners will change over time. They won't be the same person and you fell in love with from day one. One of the questions that we have is, what would you say to the next woman in Brian's life?
Stay prayed up, baby. My husband has a very unique personality. He likes things a certain way. So I would definitely pray for her strength. I would definitely tell her to stay prayed up, but also I would tell her not to lose herself um, in the process. I think it was probably a little bit easier for him to be a little more set in his ways because I was easily giving up parts of me. I was like, okay, I'm going to fit into this box. It doesn't matter if the box is, a square and I'm a circle. I'm going to fit in here some type of way or whatever. So I would tell her just never give up them much control. Like
Right.
love herself first.
Right. I know that you touched on Brian being an entrepreneur at one point. Is he still an entrepreneur?
No, he's not. He worked. Well, he had a Avis Budget franchise,
Uh-huh.
and then now he's working for the state of Tennessee. I feel like his experiences with the entrepreneurship kind of jaded his view on it a little bit,
Mm.
and that's part of the reason why. I also feel like finances was part of the reason why he was reluctant to give me his support there. It was like, well, if you chase your dreams here, like how long is it going to be before income comes into the house of this blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
men think about that. Men think about the money of the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Sometimes logical, so they
yeah,
say.
yeah,
So they say.
yeah.
So they say. Um, we received another comment. Marcia says, "So wait, he is lurking on social media platforms and can't pick up the phone and call her to tell her he was leaving. I pray for his and her mental stability." Yeah, and I don't, and we don't know the reason behind that.
Oh, he cut my phone off. I asked him to transfer the phone number to me. He cut it off, so he can't connect with me. I'm waiting on the new phone right now. So
Oh wow.
it's
Okay.
okay. It's okay.
Okay. So the phone that he was on social media talking about he paid for so that you
Right.
could continue the business is now off. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting on a new phone from AT&T.
Well, let me just say this, Miss Portia. Um, and what you said, your comment would be to the last woman or the next woman. I think that's good advice for any woman.
Yeah.
Whatever man you are with, pray and do not lose yourself. The
Yeah.
end. The end. So yes, and you are a classy lady. Let me just say that because you could have gave us a totally different answer.
It's funny because my friend Erica, she's like, "You're handling this so well. Like,
Oh well.
why do you keep smiling?" It's just like, it's fine.
So
Like,
well.
it's good. Everything's fine.
So well. So what'd you end up doing with the wedding dress?
It's still there in their closet.
All trinkets should not be kept. So
I mean, the wedding ring's gone, so the wedding dress I left it there.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Another comment says you are such a class acting beautiful woman. This is temporary. Remember that.
Thank you.
Yep, yep, yep. And another comment says, wow, you are a strong woman. Your story is power and watch what God does for you.
Thank you.
So you got as nasty as some people can be, you got a lot of amazing people that don't even know you. That
Yeah.
are probably praying for you to win right now.
Yeah.
Praying for your strength, praying for your healing, probably praying for Brian's too.
Yeah.
People saw his post. I don't know how many shares it ended up getting, but people saw his post. They saw his side of the story. I'm sure they're praying for him too. So,
Yeah.
all in all, I am glad to hear though that you are handling it well. That you do have a plan, for you and your next steps in this next chapter and next journey in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are Black women and this is what we do, I just want to remind you it is totally okay for you to cry, and it is totally okay for you to have those days, and it is totally okay for you to sit still and sit in your truth in a minute,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
and and like Lakia said, just take it all one day at a time, one day at a time, one prayer at a time, and you will be more than okay.
Yeah.
More than okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I do again want to take a minute to just say thank you for coming on the show and telling us your truth. when you leave bad relation or not bad relationships, I don't even want to say that, because sometimes the relationships aren't bad, it's just the people within them are struggling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you walk away from a relationship that you spend more than half your life being in, you do feel a sense of loss, and you do feel a sense of hopelessness. So I encourage anybody that's watching to look at Miss Porsche and look at the strength, look at the poise, look at how not only is she hurting and in pain, but that she prays for those that caused her the pain, and prays for those that soon may be connected to the pain, and just prays for it all. So I definitely want to make sure that I point that out, and I just implore anybody again that's watching to be mindful of that. Be mindful of the fact that even if somebody walks away from you, you do not lose your value, and you are still an amazing human being. We all have trials, tribulations, and things that we need to get through, but one day at a time, one prayer at a time,
Yep.
right?
Right.
All right, Ms. Portia, is there anything else that you would like for us to know before we let you go back to your Saturday?
No, not at all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for coming on the show. You guys make sure you share the video, like the video, comment as much as possible. As always, you can go ahead and go over to ask-ashley.com to check out any more Ask Ashley information, or you can go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube. We will see you all on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Bye.
Bye, y'all.